Hi guys, here we are. Welcome to it. Today is Friday, October 9th, and it's time for Fridays at 5 o'clock with Flavor. I'm Laurelann Porter, and I am one half of the Rhythm and the Flavor. I'm just going to use this platform here to reach out and talk with folks, to kind of hold myself accountable publicly for this journey toward wellness that I'm engaging in on this medical leave. And you know, there's no miraculous cure. There are things that can help give you a boost. The things that I've been focusing on are meditation. I'm not yet super regular at it, but I'm definitely doing it more than I have in years. So that's a good thing. I am in week 4 of a 6-week elimination diet protocol. So that's 4 weeks that I've had a very strict dietary regimen. It means I have to toast you all at 5 o'clock with water for the next couple of weeks. Um, I've still, like, today my wrist is really bugging me. I've still got a lot of joint pain, so I don't think that all of that joint pain and inflammation is specifically diet related. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm working with the naturopathic doctor to kind of take a look at all those things next week. I'm going to get some blood work done to see if any of the levels of things that we're slightly heading toward, not so healthy land are going to be under control. Working with a therapist to try to develop emotional regulation strategies. But at the same time, I'm also trying to kind of just be okay with expressing my emotions in public. We're so shamed for crying in public. And yet, it kind of just shows we're human. Yesterday was a crying day. Today I was going to try to keep it out, but all of a sudden, for no reason. That's the other thing. It's like I'm trying to really find that balance between staying on top of what's going on in the world and especially in the United States right now with this crazy election. Thank God for John Oliver and Rachel Maddow, who can kind of get me through it with. At this point, it's not even a sense of humor. It's just, I feel like they can explain things to me in ways that make me not go into a rage, but just acknowledge how serious this is. And, folks who were like, oh, it doesn't really matter who's president. Well, right now it really does. Normally, I'm also one of those people that says that the executive office doesn't have that much power, or at least it's not supposed to. But if you've been paying attention for a while, you know that the Republican Party, not all of them, but there's, a sort of cadre of Republicans who have been sort of arguing for the office of the president to have more powers. But the whole point of the Constitution was to have checks and balances so that we don't have someone like this particular moron who's in the White House right now, destroying the whatever shreds of democracy we have left. Pay attention to how it's not just this one Supreme Court nominee. He is bragging about how many judges he has nominated to the lower courts, who are the ones who would be up next for Supreme Court positions as they come open in the future. So the courts have been packed by Republicans in the last 4 years. Like, seriously. So we really, really need everybody. If you're kind of still on the fence, I hope you're not. I'm waiting for my ballot. I haven't gotten my ballot yet. A couple of friends already got theirs here in Arizona. I'm like, I want my ballot. I want to cast that vote right now. In Arizona, you can cast your vote early, in person. And you can also check online to make sure that your vote was received and that it was counted. And the benefit to doing it that way, well, there's lots of benefits. One benefit is you don't have to go out on an election day and worry about being too close to people who might not be wearing masks or whatever. But the other benefit is that those votes will be tallied, if my understanding is correctly, those votes will be tallied before election day so that on election night there can be a clearer idea of who's taking Arizona. So I don't know where you're listening from, but if you're listening from a different state, I would highly recommend looking into whether or not your state has early voting and early like tallying. Because we need everybody. We need every single vote. I really, really want to see everybody wake up and go vote, and I want to see a landslide that tells this administration that claims to have a mandate, even though he didn't win the popular vote, that he needs to go. He needs to go. He needs to be gone. Yeah, the debates were not really much to talk about. I could only get through the first half hour of the presidential debate. And the vice presidential debate, in some ways I was kind of cheering on Kamala Harris, but in other ways, the Democrats are trying so hard to be centrist Republicans right now that I'm so tired of the word socialist being demonized. I'm so tired of people being afraid to be leftist and being afraid to be, liberal or, leaning towards socialism or whatever. It's absurd. It's so absurd. Pay attention, do some reading, look at history, look at your definitions of how we define socialism, and don't, just think it's a bad thing because someone said it was. Because we're the only civilized, I hate using that word, but we're the only, what would be an appropriate word, industrialized nation on planet Earth that doesn't have universal health care for everybody. It's time. Come on, people. Let's grow up and play with the grown-ups in the world. And let's take care of our people, and let's be good diplomats in the world. So, and I've been kind of trying to dip my toes back into being productive and, doing a little bit of work. Because those who know me, I can't just sit around and do nothing. I get bored, so I have to be doing something. But yeah, boy, it's hard to focus on work when the world is on fire. So for those of you who are having to do it, oh my goodness, all my colleagues out there in academia who are teaching and having to switch your mode of delivery mid-semester again, or those who are having to do both online and in-person teaching, and also, taking care of your family and handling the anxiety and the stress of everything that's going on right now, and the people that are on the ground fighting to make sure that this election goes the way we need it to go, so that we can salvage what's left of our democracy. So all of those people, I love you. God love you. Take care of yourselves. Take time off when you need it. I mean, I am loving this time off. I know I won't last forever, so I do have to kind of, get my head in a good place to go back to work. But 2020 nearly broke me. So if you're in a similar position, just slow down, go easy. Do not assume that the arbitrary schedules that, academia or whatever give us for how long we're supposed to grieve, how long we're supposed to rest, whatever, you take care of yourself. Do what you need to do to take care of yourself. I think right now that's the most important thing for all of us, because the fight's not over yet. And even if the Biden-Harris ticket wins, there's still a lot of work to be done. And a lot of that is just, we have to take care of our Republican friends and family who are suffering from this collective delusion that the Republican Party somehow represents pro-life. They don't represent pro-life. They are anti-choice. They don't represent pro-life because they never support programs that would actually contribute to life, a meaningful life, a dignified life. Um, so let's try to help our Republicans and friends and family come out of that delusion. It's going to take care. It's not going to work by yelling and arguing. I can certainly vouch for that. I've tried that and it hasn't worked. And I don't yet have the guts to talk to my really hardcore Republican family. I'm just sort of staying away for my own mental health. Okay, enough politics. But really and truly, it's not just politics. These are the things that are giving me anxiety, and I suspect they're giving a lot of people anxiety. And again, folks who are of the queer community are seeing upcoming threats to our civil liberties. As a bisexual woman who can pass in the straight world, because my partner right now happens to be a man, I can probably temper that sort of anxiety and fear a little bit. But there's some people who, their ability to love who they want to love is being called into question. Yeah. Oh boy, here we get emotional again. So, I just want to say I'm really kind of proud of myself for, it's actually surprisingly been really easy to stick with this food elimination protocol. I thought it was going to be terrible. I'm 4 weeks in, and honestly, between you and me, if you had told me a year ago that you're going to go 6 weeks without alcohol, I would have been like, I don't know if I can. I haven't done that in a very long time. Because, I'm a daily wine drinker pretty much. So it feels just good to know that I'm doing that and it's not that big a deal. And it really is about the mindset. For me personally, I'm paying a doctor to guide me through this process. And so if I want my money's worth, I need to do it. But if you are not in a position where you can afford to do that under a guidance of a physician, or a naturopath or a dietitian or whatever, definitely it's worth finding whatever it is that gives you the mental strength to stick with your decisions. So apparently I have some of that too. My therapist was like, wow, you really set your mind to it and you do it. It's looking back at my life. Yeah, it's true. When I really want to do something, or if I really need something, I really just I put my mind to it and I just go get it. And, to hell with anybody that gets in my way. That might be why, sometimes people think I'm scary. But you know what? Screw it. I'm a woman who knows what she wants and I go for it. And if that scares people, well, too bad. Too bad. More of us need to be doing that. Right, ladies? Yeah. Do what you need to do to be strong. Do what you need to do to care for yourself. Because we're all in this together and we all need to find ways to work together. The one thing that I feel like has sort of happened to me, and maybe this was always there, but it seems like in this pandemic, like right when it started, or maybe just a couple 2-3 weeks in, and especially after I started seeing the horrific divisiveness, I was so inspired by all of the marches across the country from Black Lives Matter, and then to see how they were just sort of, that are threatened by, as we found yesterday, domestic terrorists, the ones trying to kidnap the governor in Michigan or Wisconsin or whatever it is, that white kids are going in with guns to try to take care of looters or whatever. It's absurd and it's harrowing and horrifying. And the thing is, I think what happened is it feels like my empathic receptors just have been in overdrive since March. And so I think that's part of the reason why it's so hard to keep the emotions stable is every time I read the news, I'm crying. Every time I watch the news, I'm crying. Every time I watch one of those debates, I'm yelling at the screen because, Mike Pence and Donald Trump are not in the same reality I am. They just keep saying things that are blatantly not true. And it's bizarre. It's bizarre. It's like doublespeak, from 1984, in this upside down world thing. And so I've been finding that when someone tells me or when I read about something that happened that's really heartbreaking, I'm like, it's like I just feel it exponentially now. So, I'm also trying to work on making sure I give myself the safe distance that I need so I don't get too caught up in all these problems. But I have to say, one of my best assets is my cat, Aslan. So for today's song for Fortissimo Fridays at 5 o'clock with Flavor, I'm going to play our song Kickin' It with the Cat. And remember, this song is only available when you buy our whole album on Bandcamp. It's the extra bonus track or whatever. But we love our cat, Aslan. He's good medicine. He's good medicine. And he can be a pain in the butt sometimes, but he's just super friendly, super cuddly. He's, my little personal emotional support cat. So I think that is, that's all I'm going to do for today. I'm going to play you Kicking with the Cat, and I'll just say, take care of yourselves. Vote early if you can. Vote in person if you can. Vote by mail if you have to. But vote for sure. So let's go to, here we go. Hey there, little kitty cat. What are you doing? Oh, honey kitty. Won't we go hang out by the pool out back? I will dance with you on a mountain top. I will dance with you in the rain. I will dance with you just to have some fun. And I dance to ease my pain. Kicking it with the cat out back by the pool. Kicking it with the cat out back by the pool. Kicking it with the cat out back by the pool. Kicking it with the cat out back by the pool. The domestic shorthair in his natural habitat. In the suburban backyard, he prowls through the overgrown grass and weeds, searching for a prey. A cricket? Perhaps a scorpion? Look at our cat in his outback backyard jungle habitat. He lays down the law with his mighty paw, dealing out justice with tooth and claw. Kicking it with the cat out back by the pool. Kicking it with the cat out back by the pool. Kicking it with the cat out back by the pool. Kicking it with the cat. I will dance with you on a mountain top. I will dance with you in the rain. I will dance with you just to have some fun. And I dance to ease my pain. The rain puddles are an attractive watering hole for the local bird life. The hunter lurks in the shadows, waiting for the right opportunity to strike. When the cat door swings out, it's time for a feline breakout. With his lions meow, cha-cha-chow. Kicking it with Cat, out back by the pool. Kicking it with Cat, out back by the pool. Kicking it with Cat, out back by the pool. Kicking it with Cat, out back by the pool. Dance, little sister, dance. Dance, kitty cat, dance. Dance, little sister, dance. Dance, little kitty cat, dance. Sorry, guys, I said all that on mute. That was brilliant. It was like one of those Zoom meetings. I wonder how long I was doing that. I was just talking about how great it is to dance, and I need to dance more. And I was dropping off some postcards to a friend who's helping me with the Swing State postcard campaign, sending them to Kentucky. Please, if you're listening from Kentucky, vote for Amy McGrath and not Mitch McConnell. Um, and we miss having parties. Like, we miss just having like small little parties, just get togethers. So I'm really trying to think through how to do, like a backyard socially distanced party. So who knows? Maybe one of these Friday nights for the Fortissimo Fridays at 5 o'clock with flavor. Who knows? Maybe we will do something right here at our UpX studio that is a socially distanced event. So if you think that would be a great idea, leave a message in the comments. Or if you know me personally and you want to reach out and send me a text or a message and say, yeah, let's do it. Because that would be great. Miss you all. Be well. Stay safe. And vote.